On March 5, 1877, President Rutherford B. Hayes was publicly inaugurated under military guard. His election had been decided by a special commission after a disputed informal deal with Southern Democrats. In exchange for the presidency, Hayes agreed to remove federal troops from the South. The decision ended Reconstruction and left millions of Black Americans in 1881. President James A. Garfield was shot at a Washington train station by a disgruntled office seeker. He had been president for just 4 months. The bullet lodged near his spine. On November 17, 1882, Chester A. Arthur received confirmation that he had Bright's disease, a fatal kidney condition. He kept the diagnosis secret from the public while continuing to serve. The disease caused fatigue, weight loss, and pain, and by the end of his presidency, he was physically depleted. Though he rarely spoke of it, on May 4, 1893, just 2 months into Grover Cleveland's second term, the New York Stock Exchange crashed after the collapse of major railroad companies. The panic spread quickly. Over 500 banks and 15,000 businesses shut down within the year. Unemployment soared and crowds of jobless workers marched in protest. Cleveland won 100 seats in Congress. On October 25, 1892, Benjamin Harrison's wife, Caroline, passed away after a long illness. She had served as was shot by an anarchist while attending a public reception on September 6, 1901 in Buffalo, New York. He had been shaking hands with visitors when the attacker drew a concealed weapon, and on October 22, 1907, the New York Stock Exchange collapsed in a wave of panic, setting off a nationwide financial crisis. With no central bank to intervene, Theodore Edith took on an unusually active role. With the president incapacitated, major legislation stalled and the U.S. Senate later rejected the League. Politically isolated early in his presidency. Woodrow Wilson suffered a major stroke on October 2, 1919, after months of exhausting travel promoting the League. Helen suffered a major stroke during a reception in Washington. She lost her ability to speak and began a long recovery with the help of their daughter. Helen had been Taft's closest publicity. The panic eased only after J.P. Morgan organized private loans to keep major banks and trusts from falling. On May 17, 1909, just weeks into